Story 1. 30M left our first date after he saw acne I didn't hide on my 28F dating profile. I've started using Tinder to meet new people. I matched with a guy, we messaged, had a phone call, and really hit it off. We decided to meet for dinner. I have hormonal acne, mostly on my jaw and chin. I manage it with a consistent routine, and it's a side effect of medication I take. I know it's there, and it's not everyone's preference. On my profile, I included a range of photos from my best skin days, because those are the pictures I tend to like, to photos where my acne is visible. I don't wear makeup or use filters, so I'm not hiding it, but my best photos might not show it at its worst. I also sent the guy real-time photos, and at that time, my skin was in a good state, minimal, not inflamed. We set up a date for a week later. During that week, I had a flare-up. I didn't think to mention it. It wasn't terrible, just red, inflamed spots, but not huge or with whiteheads. When I showed up for the date, within a few minutes, he said he couldn't do it. He said I misrepresented myself, even though my photos showed the same level of acne. He said I should have told him and that I led him on. I don't think I did. I've never felt like this before. Is it expected to disclose this when dating? Comment 1. Well, dodged a bullet there, lol. No, you don't need to disclose your medical shit with anyone you don't want to. That's nobody's business but yours and your doctor. You had a variety of photos in all sorts of stages. The photos were real and not touched up. It's his fault for not actually looking at them or your face in them if he has a problem with acne. Comment 2. That you have skin and into skin things? He basically made your medical condition about him. And generally, most adults don't need a PSA that you are a human and will not look exactly like you photos. It's likely you will be wearing different clothes and your hair won't be exactly the same. Comment 3. This reminds me of another post where someone's boyfriend got mad at her and called her disgusting for farting in bed. Our bodies do things. It gets old and gray eventually. We get sick. We burp and smell. No, you do not have to disclose any of this normal stuff. You dodged a bullet. A good one would not mind one bit how human you are. Story 2. Emil, F65, keeps asking about my F30 inheritance. How to get around persistent questions. My grandparents recently passed away 10 months ago. They were very hardworking and left a decent amount of money to the family. I was very close to them, so their passing has been hard. I'm receiving a nice gift from their will, but it's not life-changing, and I don't see it as my Emil's business. My Emil is obsessed with people's wealth. She always refers to people by their financial status and often says things like, "Oh, I wish I had that," with a victim mentality. She also brags and name drops constantly. For example, when my SIL dated a wealthy man, that's all my Emil talked about. She didn't even use his name. I used to have a good relationship with her, but she said some hurtful things, and now I find interacting with her painful. She lives out of town, but has visited 5 times since my grandparents passed, and the will is being settled. Every time, she asks, "Oh, honey, how is everything going with your grandparents' will?" Or, "Is your family selling your grandparents' house/business?" I try to give short answers and change the subject, but she's getting more persistent. She's very open about finances with her family, but mine isn't. Most recently, she directly asked my husband, M30, what I received as an inheritance when I wasn't around. He knows I want to respect my grandparents' privacy, so he said I received something but wasn't sure exactly how much, even though he does know. She sulked and didn't talk to him for days, saying, "It's not a big deal. Family shares this stuff, and I just want to know you're okay." My husband is softly spoken and avoids conflict, so he tries to keep the peace. I know she's going to ask me directly soon, especially since we're selling my grandparents' house this week. I don't want a confrontation with her. She plays the victim, or my husband, even though he should be setting boundaries. But I really don't like her constant questions and find them disrespectful. I don't see why she needs to know. Comment 1. I'm going to keep the numbers private because my grandparents would find it disrespectful to share it with you. Short and simple. Comment 2. It upsets me too much to talk about it. Thanks for understanding. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Comment 3. Every time she brings it up, you need to question, starting. What I'd like to know is how much you're leaving your son. I haven't seen a will or heard about that even though you love to talk about wills nonstop. Or, when she mentions will, say speaking of wills, please bring yours so I can go through it. Then every time she visits, hey, did you bring your will? Comment 4. That's not something I will be discussing with you. Who gives a shit if she throws a fit? Her feelings are hers to manage. Story 3. I, 27M, overheard my sister, 25F, confess her love for my fiancé, 30M. How do I confront her? I'm using a throwaway account because I don't want this attached to my main, which some friends follow. My friends recently threw a party for my sister, who was returning from Florida after breaking up with her boyfriend. It was a small gathering with mutual friends, her old high school friends, and some cousins. My fiancé and I arrived late, happy to celebrate and see my sister, who had been distant lately. Everything was normal until later, when people got drunk. My fiancé and I were planning to leave early since wedding planning has been exhausting. On my way to the bathroom, I passed the bedroom and heard my sister crying in someone's arms. I was going to offer comfort, but then I heard my fiancé's name and paused. I admit I was wrong to listen, but I was curious and a bit drunk. She was sobbing about how seeing my fiancé made her feelings real again, and that she didn't want to deny them, especially now that he's marrying me. She also said she wanted him to notice her too. I left quickly and haven't told anyone. She's always been polite and friendly with my fiancé. She's known him longer than I have, since we were high school sweethearts, and I came out to her first. It's strange to hear this, and part of me wants to blame it on the alcohol. She was warm to both of us at the party, even greeting him and connecting over a shared interest. I want to confront her to see if she meant it, but I'm terrified of the outcome. My family is usually drama-free, and I'd hate to ruin things, especially since my sister just returned. It's been a week since the party, and I feel sick whenever she messages or calls about wedding stuff or general chatting. I know I need to do something. Has anyone been in a situation like this before? Comment 1. Talk to your fiancé first. See if he has any idea she felt this way or if she's ever made odd comments that make sense with this information. Comment 2. I would talk to your fiancé and tell him what you heard so he's aware of the situation and the two of you can have a united front. I would also talk with your sister, letting her know what you overheard. Comment 3. You are no longer drama-free. Conflict avoidance has never once solved any problem effectively. Your fiancé deserves the right to know in order to make his own decisions about how he chooses to interact with your sister, rather than you making the choice for him because you're afraid drama. I can't tell you where this will lead, but it's not an issue that goes away by staying stagnant and pretending it never happened. By no means am I saying you need to have a massive, ugly blowout with your sister. You do need to inform her and your fiancé that you are aware of what she said and what this means for the foreseeable future. Stress from a wedding and drunken confessions are hardly reasonable excuses. Nip this in the bud before resentment begins festering, if it hasn't already. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.